This video is sponsored by Card Trader, a global marketplace where you can buy and sell TCG cards like the Pokemon trading card game. And you can also check out PTCGLstore.com, a great place for you to buy Pokemon TCG code cards. The links will be in the description below. Hey guys, in today's video, I'll be showcasing Serperior EX from the Black Bolt expansion set. Serperior EX is a stage 2 Pokemon with 320 HP. It has a really nice ability called Regal Cheer. This basically adds 20 more damage to your attacks against your opponent's active Pokemon, and this ability does stack. And its one and only attack is Command the Grass. For 1 grass and 3 colorless energies, it deals 150 base damage, but really it's 170 with the ability applied. But then you can also search your deck for up to 3 cards, that's any cards you want, and put them into your hand. If it wasn't for the high attack cost, this would be a really strong attack because it actually allows you to set up perfectly for your next turn, unless of course your opponent forces you to shuffle your hand somehow. So to power up its attack, you just have to attach a grass energy initially, then use the ignition energy to fulfill the rest of the colorless energy requirement. You'd have to discard this card at the end of your turn. If anything, Serperior EX can pretty much 2-hit KO most Pokemon in the game, but again, because of its high attack cost, I thought this deck needed another attacker that has minimal energy requirement. And Reuniclus, also from the Black Bolt expansion, I think fits in quite well in this deck. It is a stage 2 Pokemon as well, but it has 2 attacks that are very helpful. Although I don't use it much, you can use its first attack, Cellular Ascension, to be able to search your deck for a card that evolves each of your bench Pokemon. But its second attack is really strong. For a single colorless energy, it deals 40 plus base damage and 40 more damage for each of your evolution Pokemon in play. In this build, you can deal as much as 240 to 260 damage at best, especially with the attack modifications. As for my A-Spec card, I'm using Grantry, that way we can fully evolve into Serperior EX or Reuniclus in a single turn. Just be careful with this one though, since your opponent can use it too. Serperior EX definitely has potential, it's just a high energy cost to its attack that's really slowing it down. And until we get the new Stadium and Meganium from the new Mega Evolution set, this build is still a bit mid in my opinion, but so far this deck is pretty cool, definitely worth a try. Anyways, that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below, and now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing Serperior EX. Alright, on to our first match. I'm going to start this one with Badoo in the active spot. We also have Snivy and Munkidori, and we are going first in this matchup. My opponent's going to mulligan once. We're going against Charizard EX. So we actually have type advantage against this matchup, which means we have the power to one-hit knock out their Charizard EX using Serperior EX. And it's good we also have Badoo. We can even item lock them, perhaps prevent them from fully evolving into their Charizard EX using Rare Candy. So we got Serendipity EX for our extra draw. Let's go ahead and start with Buddy Buddy Poffin. I can get Cleffa and Snivy. And ideally you want to attach Grass Energy on one of your Snivies on your first turn, but all we have is Dark Energy. Might as well attach it to our Munkidori. So for now, my opponent's setting up. They have Charmander, and they're gonna call for Family. So that allows them to set up 2 more basic Pokemon on their bench, and they're gonna go for Mew EX and another Charmander. We drew into a Crispin though, which is good because now we can attach at least 1 Grass Energy to one of our Snivies. I'll just retreat into Cleffa. We can draw into more cards if we need to. Go ahead and use Crispin. Thankfully, we have another energy or a different type of energy from our deck. So I can attach this, but also be able to attach to Cleffa. That way we can use TM Evolution. I think just gonna evolve my Snivies into Servine. So this is a good start. If my opponent knocks out Cleffa, we have Serendipity EX. At least that can draw us 3 cards. And maybe we can use Badoo to continue to item lock them. But if not, if Cleffa survives, we could draw into more cards. So my opponent evolves one of their Charmander into Charmeleon. And they're going to call for Family one more time. And they're going to set up 2 more Charmanders. Okay. We drew into Reuniclus. I can put Serendipity EX into play. That way we can draw into more cards with Grasping Draw. But we didn't really draw into anything useful. I was hoping that we would draw into Serperior EX, but we got more basics and not much to go with. They're gonna retreat. Put Charmeleon in their active. They could just knock out our Cleffa though. And they're gonna attack with Combustion, dealing 50 damage, knocking out our Cleffa, and they will get their first prize. I'll just pivot into Badoo for now. We got Super Rod. I can put another Snivy into play. We can flip the script. Hey, we got an Arven. I'll take that. So I can get Ultra Ball. We can evolve into Serperior EX at least this turn. And then we can start attacking. Let me discard these two. Get Serperior EX. We have Ignition Energy. So we can evolve this. We can attach this. So now we can attack with Serperior EX. So command the Grass. Deals 170. And yes, we want to search our deck for 3 cards. Any cards you want, guys. Which is pretty powerful. It's just really expensive attack cost. So I'll get Serperior EX. We can evolve the other one. I can get Grand Tree and Boss's Orders. And that will get us our first prize. Hey, we got an Iono, so I'll take it. Grand Tree is not going to be as useful to our opponent unless they want to evolve into their Pidgeot EX. Because Charizard EX requires that they evolve it from their hand. That way it will activate the ability. Infernal Rain, speaking of, they'll use Rare Candy. That allows them to search their deck for up to 3 basic fire energies and attach them to their Pokemon in any way they like. But we're not too afraid because we've only taken 1 prize. Charizard EX's attack only increases the more prizes their opponent has already taken. But we've only taken 1. So Serperior EX should be able to survive an attack here. And anyways, we have another Ignition Energy in our hand. We could just easily take out their Charizard EX. Alright, they're dealing 210 damage. So we can at least evolve into another Serperior EX. I can Adrena Brain to their Pidgey. So unless they evolve it, we can take another knockout with that. Attach Ignition Energy. And I'm just gonna command the Grass, dealing 380 damage. Not bad, man. Not bad. And then, again, we can search our deck for 3 more cards. So I'll get Ignition Energy, Solosis, and let's see here. I could get Earthen Vessel. We get 2 prizes. Hey, we got a Crispin. Alright, that's actually pretty good. Because we could use Super Rod to get the Dark Energy. And then we can even attach to Serperior EX. Because it's very difficult if you're only attaching an energy once every turn. But they're just going to attack with Pidgey. They have nothing. Well, we can take out this Pidgey. Take another prize. Easily. And all we have to do is get 2 more prizes. We even have Boss's Orders. And we should be dealing enough damage since we have 2 Serperiors in the deck. Actually, make that 3. So we can fully evolve into another Serperior EX, adding more damage to our active. Attach Ignition Energy and 210 damage to knock out this Mew EX to get us our last 2 prizes to win the game. Look at that. Good game. On to our second match. I'm going to start this one with Badoo in the active once again. And I will be going first in this matchup. Okay, they're going to start with Relor. We drew into a Buddy Buddy Poffin. Let's go ahead and use this. I'm going to set up Snivy and Solosis. And I'm going to use Earthen Vessel. I hate to discard any of my cards here, but I'm going to sacrifice Ignition Energy. That way I can attach a Grass Energy to our Snivy on our very first turn. And I'm just going to pass. Although I should have just gotten a Cleffa instead of Solosis, because now we don't have any other way to draw into more cards next turn. But I can stall a little bit with Badoo once we item lock our opponent. But at this point, I'm not really sure what my opponent's using as their main attacker. Although they have Baxcalibur, so they can accelerate water energies to their Pokemon. But for now, they're just going to use Collect to draw 1 card with Relor. We drew into another Snivy. We can evolve into Servine. And I'm just going to Itchy Pollen for now. At least they can't use Rare Candy to evolve into Baxcalibur. They're going to evolve their Toedscool into Toedscruel. And they're going to use Professor's Research. And they're using Greninja EX. Alright. And I actually was not expecting this. So my opponent evolves their Rellor into Rabsca. Not the one that protects the bench, but this is the one with the Revival Blessing attack, allowing them to set up a Pokemon from their discard pile straight to their bench. I really can't do much here but to just item lock my opponent once again. But Greninja EX only requires 1 energy to attack actually. And they're going to set up Baxcalibur on their bench. Again, I don't have any other options but to just item lock my opponent. But yeah, man, this Rabsca is actually pretty dangerous. Because it can just set up any stage 2 on their bench, skipping basic and stage 1. You can use Professor's Research, probably looking for that water energy. Okay, they have Sandshrew as well, so that prevents item recovery, I think. Okay, they're going to attach an energy to Greninja EX. And they're going to use Shinobi Blade, dealing 170 damage to knock out our Badoo. And they can also search for any 1 card from their deck. So this Greninja EX is actually pretty similar to our Serperior EX, but we can search 3. And our attack is more expensive, of course. So in a way, Serperior EX is a more lesser version of Greninja EX. I'm just going to stall a little bit with Counter Catcher. Maybe they don't have energies to retreat their Baxcalibur. And I'm just going to use TM Evolution here. And evolve my bench Pokemon. At least we have 1 Serperior EX and another one into Servine. And we have Ignition Energy. So we can at least start attacking on our next turn. But that did slow us down a little bit. And it's not good that my opponent is able to attack really fast here. They're going to set up another Baxcalibur. And they have Earthen Vessel. So they can search their deck for water energies. They can accelerate those. Okay, they also have Brilliant Blender. Okay, that makes sense. That way they can discard Pokemon and be able to set it up with Rabsca. So this is actually a pretty unique build. Very unique build. Okay, they're going to use the Super Cold ability to accelerate energies. They have enough to actually retreat this Baxcalibur. And they can continue to attack with Greninja EX. And with this tool card, they can recover energies and attach it to Greninja EX continuously. So they have 3 energies. They can use Mirage Barrage, and they're probably just going to take out Solosis and our Servine, and that's going to give them 2 more prizes. So this Greninja EX is actually a really strong Pokemon that can gatekeep you if they can just continually knock out your weak Pokemon, targeting 2 Pokemon at once. So we got Fezandipity EX. Thankfully, we can draw 3 cards. We got an Arven. But I think I'm just going to take it slow. They're not dealing a 1-hit knockout to our Serperior EX anyways. But I'll just use Arven. I'll try and set up for next turn. I'll get Buddy Buddy Poffin and Air Balloon. But I'm not going to set anything up just yet. We're just going to use Command the Grass. Deal 170. And I'm going to get Monkey Dory. Solosis. And Grand Tree sounds good because my opponent shouldn't be able to benefit from it. Especially they're using Rabsca as their setup engine anyways. But having Reuniclus in this matchup is actually pretty good because this Greninja is not weak against grass but against psychic types. So now we have type advantage and it's their only attacker right now. It'll take them 2 more turns before they can set up another Greninja EX. So once again, they're going to attack with Mirage Barrage. But now we can safely set up more Snivies and Solosis. Might as well with Monkey Dory. And then I'm going to use Crispin. Can attach the Dark Energy on Monkidori. We can Adrena Brain to their Rabsca. Because once we take that out, they could have a hard time setting up their Pokemon. Attach for turn for Ignition Energy. And remove their Stadium. And we're just going to knock out their Greninja EX. So Serperior EX has enough firepower to actually hit knockout most Pokemon, Stage 2 Pokemon in the game. So I'll just get Servine, Rare Candy, and Reuniclus. That way we can just Rare Candy into our Reuniclus, be able to attack for just a single energy. So we'll get our first 2 prizes of the game. So they're probably just going to sacrifice this Rabsca to set up Greninja EX. But for our next turn, and this is why Serperior EX is pretty good, as long as you have enough energies for its attack, right? And your opponent doesn't mess up your hand during their turn here. But we have Boss's Orders. They can set up Greninja EX, but we can just Boss's Orders it, knock it out with Reuniclus, and just be done with it, right? So it's not too bad, not too bad. We had a pretty slow start, but not bad at all. So we want to evolve as much Pokemon as we can to increase Reuniclus attack. Can attach an energy. And that's why we have Air Balloon here, so we can easily retreat Serperior EX, having 2 retreat cost. And we're just going to knock out this Rabsca. Take it out. Get another prize. And we're just going to Evo Lariat, dealing 480 damage to one-hit knockout their Greninja EX. Not bad. See, Reuniclus is really good. It's a really good partner to this Serperior EX. Not only does it provide a single price attacker for this build, but it's also a different typing, which could really benefit this build. So, really nice. 1 energy attack. Knocks out Greninja EX, getting us 2 more prizes. So we need 1 more prize to win this game. We have Ignition Energy to power up Serperior EX. So we can either use Reuniclus to attack, or we can also use Serperior. So Reuniclus, Serperior, really good combo attackers. But they're going to TM Devolution everyone. I could get another Rare Candy to fully evolve into Reuniclus, but we could just evolve into Serperior EX. We also have Grand Tree, but no stage 1s in the deck. So I'll just have to retreat my Solosis, attach Ignition Energy, and we're just going to finish this game with Command the Grass, dealing enough damage to knock out their Baxcalibur to win us the game. Alright, not bad. Good game. Moving on to our third and final match. This time I'm going to start with Snivy in the active spot, and my opponent will be going first in this matchup. You can mulligan once, and it looks like we're going against Whimsicott EX. This is going to be a very interesting matchup for sure. You can draw 1 extra card from their mulligan. We got Ignition Energy, and they're going to start with a bunch of Litwick. This could be very dangerous because we have type disadvantage in this case, because Serperior EX is weak against fire. Can attach an energy to Snivy. I can use Arven to get Buddy Buddy Poffin, Air Balloon to thin out our deck, and I can get Snivy and Solosis. We might have to use Reuniclus in this matchup. And I think I'll just use TM Evolution for now. We can evolve into Servine, but unfortunately, our one and only Duosion is in our hands, so we can evolve our Solosis. But this is a good start for now. Maybe we can fully evolve into Serperior EX, attach Ignition Energy, and start knocking out our opponent's Pokemon. Although, I am afraid that they are going to be able to evolve into Chandelure and take an easy knockout against Serperior EX. They get 2 prizes. But no, they're going to call for family, set up Cottony. Hey, we got a Grand Tree. Let's evolve into Duosion first, and then I can use Grand Tree to fully evolve my active into Serperior EX. And then we can attach the Ignition Energy, start attacking. Attach the Air Balloon. And we're just gonna Command the Grass. Deal 170, take a knockout. And we're just gonna get 3 cards from the deck. I'll get Serperior EX, Crispin, and Ignition Energy. So we get our first prize. We got Monkey Dory. Although, actually, my opponent can take advantage of Grand Tree. They can fully evolve into Chandelure. And they definitely will use Grand Tree. So this Chandelure has Alluring Light. Both player draws a card. And Mind Ruler has a 30 damage multiplier for a single fire energy. Dude, with so many cards in our hand, it's dealing 480 damage. That's crazy. 30 damage for each card in your opponent's hand. It's nothing specific. It's for each card. That's crazy. So it can easily knock out our Serperior EX. They get 2 prizes. Easy. I don't know if I want to evolve this now. I'll just put Monkey Dory into play for now. I could try and evolve into Reuniclus, but let me just get Festinipity EX first. That way we can flip the script. Okay, we got another Solosis. I might have to take advantage of Reuniclus as my attacker here. That way it's just a 1-to-1 price trade. Otherwise we're just gonna lose if they knock out 3 of our Serperior. So I'm just gonna use Iono. Set up another Snivy with Buddy Buddy Poffin. And I think I might just have to take a chance here. Yeah, I'll just use the Wrap attack. It deals 20 damage. We flip a coin. We got heads. Yes! Nice. And that will paralyze our opponent's active Pokemon. So that should buy us time at least. But once again, they're going to use Grand Tree to fully evolve into another Chandelure. But at least we have Ultra Ball. I mean, they are helping us to draw out extra cards, which is okay with me. Even if they manage to attack here, we'll lose 1 prize. They knock out Surviving, but we have the means to evolve into Reuniclus next turn. You're going to attach an energy to Chandelure, but it cannot retreat with paralysis. And we got an Ignition Energy. I'll take it. They have a switch though, but they already attached an energy. So they really cannot retreat this Litwick. We're going to use Jock to get evolution Pokemon, and they're just going to pass. Nice. That was an epic stall there. I'm going to use Grand Tree to fully evolve into Serperior EX to increase our attack damage output. But I'm just going to retreat this Servine, I think. I have Ultra Ball. Yeah, I think I have no choice here, guys. I'll keep Iono, I think. Oh man, it's so hard to think. Which one? I might need Counter Catcher. I definitely need Crispin. I'll just have to discard Iono. So I'll get Reuniclus. Can evolve this. Use Crispin. So we have 2 different types of energy, which is good. Can attach this. That way we can attack with Reuniclus. Attach to Monkey Dory. Retreat. And we have Counter Catcher. I could just target this guy with the energy. And we're just going to attack with Evo Lariat, dealing enough damage to knock it out, thankfully. And we got another Ignition Energy. So, it depends whether or not my opponent's limited with their stage 1. But no, they have Rare Candy. They will be able to evolve into another Chandelure. Okay. My opponent's just forcing us to draw into more cards, of course. The more cards we have in our hand, the more powerful Chandelure's attack is. And it is enough to knock out Reuniclus. 150 damage. Just going to pivot into Monkidori because we have no other Pokemon that can retreat. Set up another Snivy. Use Flip the Script. I'll put the air balloon on Serperior. I can get another Reuniclus with the Ultra Ball, and we have Dark Energy. Okay, can't evolve anything with the Grand Tree. I'll have to discard these two. Yeah, we're gonna go with Reuniclus this game, guys. It's the most optimal strategy. That way my opponent doesn't get 2 prizes every time. Just gonna target this Chandelure, deal 180, take a prize, and we got a Badu. Alright, not too bad. As long as my opponent doesn't have boss orders, I think we should be okay. And then we can take care of Whimsicott, get 2 prizes. If we can take care of that last Chandelure, I think we should be safe. So this Whimsicott EX is pretty weak, I think. Wondrous Cotton, they're only dealing 50 because it depends on how many trainer cards are on your opponent's hands. So pretty underwhelming, but their strategy is actually pretty good. I might have to try this out. So shout out to Cupcake in advance if I use this combo. So for now, I'm just gonna attack with Reuniclus. Thankfully, Reuniclus attack depends on how many evolution Pokemon we have on our board. So we have control over its attack damage output. So they're gonna retreat into Chandelure once again. That's fine. They could even target Fessendipity EX, take a knockout, or our Serperior, but we're gonna continue with our attack with Reuniclus. They don't even knock it out because of the limited cards we have in our hand. But this time, I have confidence since they don't have any more Chandelure lineup. I'm just gonna use Serperior EX to attack here, and then get 3 more cards from our deck to be able to set up for our next turn. I'm gonna use Super Rod to recover Grass Energy, but again, we'll be limited because we don't have a lot of Ignition Energy. So at least we can evolve into another Serperior EX. We can increase our attack, command the grass, knock out this Chandelure, and then we're gonna search out our deck for 2 more cards. So I'm just gonna get Crispin, another Ignition Energy. We got a prize, and we got Cleffa. So we have Reuniclus as our 1 energy attacker. We could still attack with that once we run out of Ignition Energy. And once again, they're gonna try with Whimsicott, dealing 50 damage. Ooh, we don't have any more Dark Energy. Okay, that was a waste. Let me just go ahead and Ignition Energy Serperior, command the grass, deal 190, and search our deck. Get another Serperior EX. And I could go for an Iono, maybe shuffle our hand back to the deck because we might run out. We have 3 cards left in the deck. So that's going to be it for Serperior EX. We don't have any more Ignition Energies. So we'll have to attack with Reuniclus. Ooh, they're going to use Iono. Okay. Alright. And they're just switching it out. They're just stalling. They're dealing 100 damage this time. And we drew into Grass Energy. Dude, actually with Serperior EX, 2 of them in play, we can actually increase the damage output for Reuniclus and be able to just knock out this Whimsicott EX, dealing 240 damage. And that will get us our last 2 prizes. Good game. And that's it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching the Popsicleknight channel, and until next time, please stay safe and have a great day.